This is 45 minutes all to yourself. Let's go ahead and get started with a warm-up. So we're going to start with a little side-to-side tap. Belly button in. And we're going to add a little reach across the body here. Beautiful. Feeling a little bit of rotation through the waist. Good. We want to make sure that we are nice and warm. So if you can, put a heater on in your home or add layers as you cool off from the warm-up itself. Good. And 4, 3, 2, let's bring those arms overhead. Reach, reach. Good. Very nice. Belly button is in. Beautiful. And feeling a little stretch. Just a little stretch down the side of the waist. Good. Beautiful. And we're going to kind of walk those feet out just a little bit wider as we move. And turn the toes out very slightly. And we have 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center. And we're going to go into a little squat with a reach all the way up. Squat and reach. Beautiful. Feeling out the range of motion in your chest and your shoulders. Let's get that breath going. Big breath in. Exhale, press. Very nice. Big breath in. Exhale and press. Good. Let's do 2 more of those. 1 more here. Gorgeous. And I'm going to have you walk your feet out just a little bit wider, and you're going to turn your toes pointing straight forward. I'm going to do this on a diagonal so you can kind of see. My hips are going to go back. Weight goes into my heels. And we begin to get that stretch all down the hamstrings. Now, if your back is sensitive, I do recommend sort of supporting yourself on your thighs or your shins, at least at the very beginning. Inhale deep. And exhale, see if you can drop just a little bit. Inhale deep. Exhale and drop. Good. Inhale deep. And exhale. If your back has gained the comfort, you can go ahead and dangle. But notice how slowly and gently I'm doing so. Feel your spine elongate. It should feel good. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to soften up just your right knee, but keep your left leg really straight. And I'll turn here so you can see. So you're sort of sinking yourself into one side. Now I say soften is not a deep bend. You're not going into a big lunge. All you're doing is taking your hips from center and you're shifting over. You should start to feel a nice stretch in the inner thighs. Good. If you like, you can clasp your hands, rest them on the bent thigh for a little bit of extra support. Very nice. Deep breath in. And exhale, going straighten out that leg. Come to center. Feel the backs of those thighs. Inhale deep. And exhale as you soften up the other leg. Feel that inner thigh stretch here. Keep this leg nice and straight. Now you want to be mindful of the knee here. Sometimes I see people's knees fall in. You want to make sure that you're kind of pushing that knee out, lace your hands and rest them on top of the supporting thigh. Back is staying nice and flat through all of this. If your back starts to bother you, just come up a little bit. You can put your hands on your hips if that's helpful. Very nice. Deep breath in and exhale as you straighten out both legs and come back to your center. Fold forward as far as you have comfort. Very nice. Now from here, you're going to soften your knees first, please. Weight goes back to the heels, knees get nice and soft. And then you're gonna drive up through the heels and come all the way up. Hands reach for the sky and drop one hand behind the head. Grab that elbow, keep that nice wide stance, but you can turn your toes out a little bit if that's a little more comfortable for you, into our tricep stretch. Beautiful. Lovely deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to take your torso over, essentially away from the stretching tricep. So we're getting a little bit of an oblique stretch here. And if you like, you can send your hips out just a touch to get that nice stretch. All the way down the side. Good. Deep breath in. And exhale as you come all the way up. Beautiful. Go ahead and reach both hands up again. And we're going to switch right on over to the other side. Into triceps. Lovely deep breath in again. And exhale as you tilt over. Feel that waist and oblique stretch. Beautiful. One more lovely deep breath. And exhale, come all the way up. Big reach across. Hands are going to come down, and you're going to very gently and gradually soften up your knees and walk your feet in slightly awkwardly. Now what I'd like you to do is find a place against a wall. We're going to do a chest opener. For me, I'm going to be using hole right here. So you can either lay your hand flat against the wall, or you can open your palm up so that the fingertips are pointing backwards. Either way is fine. I think it just sort of depends on if you have any shoulder impingement or discomfort here. But what you're going to do is plant your hand, take a deep breath, and then you're going to take your chest. Imagine as though there's a string pulling the chest out this way, and you're just going to very gently, please gradually, turn your body so that you begin to open through the chest. And breathe. This is one of my favorite chest stretches. If you'd like to complete the rotation, you're just going to take your gaze over the opposite shoulder. Beautiful, ladies. Big breath in. Exhale, see if you can open that chest the tiniest bit more, and I mean tiny, just really incremental here. Good, deep breath in, and exhale as you bring your gaze forward very gently. You're going to meet the wall, plant the other hand, and you're going to rotate and turn the other way. So, a little bit of soft elbow here. I like to turn my palm out. I find that to be a more effective stretch. And rotate. I'm going to rotate my butt just a little bit so that I'm here. Almost see you guys. Good. Keep breathing, ladies. Beautiful, lovely deep breath in. And exhale. Open up that chest just the tiniest bit more. And one more time, inhale. And exhale very gently and slowly come out of the stretch and away from the wall. Give you 2 big shoulder rolls back. And 2 big shoulder rolls forward. And let us come to the back of our chair. So, we already did a little bit of a hammy stretch with this guy. Now we're going to reapproach a bent over hamstring stretch with the chair as an assist. So, first thing you're going to do is stand fairly close to the chair. You want your hands right on top, and then you're going to plant them there. You can also do this with a counter, by the way. You can plant them there and then begin to walk your feet back, keeping your feet fairly close together. And as you do so, you should send the tailbone back, and the chest is going to begin to drop. So we're getting that initial sort of shoulder and chest stretch. Now you notice my knees are real soft right now. I'm opening them up slightly so that they're directly underneath my hips. You're going to take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're going to try, very gently, to straighten out your knees. Good. Inhale, soften. And exhale, straighten. Good. Your back should be nice and flat. Big breath in and soften. And exhale and straighten. One more time. Big breath in, soften. And exhale and straighten. Good. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you already, stay right here and continue to breathe into the backs of your thighs. However, if you think you could do a little bit more, you're going very gently transition your grip from the back of the chair to your shins, just below the knees. So now you have this little kickstand to help support you. And as you relax more and more into this stretch, you can let the hands travel down. Keeping your legs fairly straight. Now, if this is not fun for your lower back, part of the reason I introduced the wide leg hamstring stretch first was so that we could get a little bit of mobility for your hamstrings before we attempt this bent over hamstring stretch. Notice I'm traveling down, but only very slowly. Very good. Got my fingertips to the floor. I've been trying to get my palms flat on the floor, but it's been taking a little while. Very good. Nice deep breaths into your belly, relaxing through that lower back. Very good. Beautiful. Now you're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to shift your weight back into your heels and then very gently, very softly soften and bend your knees. Now notice what happens to my torso when that happens. My torso is suddenly able to drop. If you can, see if you can get enough of a bend in your knees to rest your rib cage on the top of your thighs. And now you're ragdoll. Everything from the hips up is just dangling upside down. You should feel your spine elongate. It should feel pretty good. And then from here, we're going to ragdoll all the way up. So what this means is you're going to keep your knees soft at all times, but you're going to begin to very slowly and very gently stack each bone in your spine, one on top of the other, starting with your pelvis. So your pelvis is stacked on top of your thighs, and then the rest of your spine is like a slinky, rolling up and into place. Your head and your arms are the very last things to come up. You should feel your shoulders kind of rolling back as gravity takes over. Chest very gently opens. And the head comes up. And you are nice and tall. And I'd like you to just stand here for a moment. Knees soft. Feel the weight of the floor through your feet. Just feel how tall you feel. Beautiful. Let's come to seated. So, I'm going to grab my chair, place it so you can see. We've already begun, to engage in some deep breathing. So we're going to continue that practice here. Last week I did counted breaths. And I think today I want to return to the physical feeling of the breath. So I'd like you to take one hand, you're going to place it just below the belly button. The other is going to be placed just above. And just breathe. You don't have to change anything about your breath. You don't have to control it. Just let it fall in and fall out. And just notice What part of the body rises with the breath? Is it mostly in your chest? Is there a lot of happening here? For me, I mostly feel it in my upper hand. And what I'd like you to do is allow your eyes to close. And begin to deepen your breath. So wherever it's living, just want it to drop down a little bit lower into your torso. Whether it's through from the chest into the upper hand, or in my case, getting my breath into my lower hand. It can be hard to remind ourselves to belly breathe. That's exactly what we're doing here. Very good. Big breath in. Exhale, let the shoulder blades drop down the back. Very good. One more time. Deep breath in. And exhale. And very gently allow the eyes to come open. Good. And we want to use that deep breath to help us get more range of motion into our stretches. Let's begin with the figure four. So I'm starting with my right leg, placing my right ankle on the very top of my left knee and ensuring that my left knee is directly over my ankle. Sometimes I'll see ladies pull the knee over so that the knee is falling in. We want to try to avoid that as much as possible. My left hand is right on top of the right ankle. My right hand is on the inside of the right knee. My chest is facing straight forward. Big breath in. And on the exhale, we fold. We're going into our hip and glute stretch. You should feel a lot of stretching right around here, this kind of C shape. And maybe some in the meat of the booty. You definitely feel that this week. I'm so bad. I barely stretched at all this week. Good, lovely deep breaths. Inhale, you're sending air directly to that glute, and then on the exhale, your only job is to try and relax the area. We're just dropping into deeper range of motion. Big breath in, and on the exhale, let's bring that hand to the inside of the ankle. Now my right elbow is against my right knee. Now for me, at a certain point when I forward fold, this elbow gives me a little bit better leverage than the hand on the inside of the knee. And breathe, 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 always breathing. Oh, very good. Now as I go through this, spend a while in this stretch. This is because I'm really trying to get that knee to just drop down toward the floor. Many times I'll feel myself kind of tighten up a little bit, and then if I breathe properly into it, that thing that feels tight just releases, drops. Beautiful, very nice. One more deep breath in. And on this exhale, you're going to come up slowly. Take your time. You're going to take that right hand and place it through the figure four. Left hand is going to come around the bottom of the ankle and find the shin. Right hand is going to meet that hand. And now we're focusing on the glutes. That knee might pop up just a little bit. It's okay if that happens. We're focusing a little less on the outside of the hip and more in the booty now. Stretching out that booty. Very nice, lovely. Ooh, deep breaths. Everything's so tight this week. It's all the rain and the cold. Maybe I was just lazy and I barely stretched. Could be that. big breath in. Send air to the glutes, send air to the glutes. Exhale, relax, relax, relax. Oh, good. Let's do one more breath, just like that. Big breath in. And exhale. Good. On this inhale, be prepared. On this exhale, you're going to come up slowly, please, out of the stretch. Good, and we're going to do one more hamstring stretch. Let's unhook that figure four. Full extension to the floor. Look at that. Cheers so you can see properly. Heels on the floor, toes pointing up to the sky. Now for me, I need to move forward in my chair just a little bit to facilitate this. We want a nice flat knee. Going forward, forward fold once again. If you like, you can lace your hands, place them on top of the bent thigh. That's going to give you a lot of support here, which is great. However, if you're fairly flexible, you can take that left knee and rest it. Right hand goes toward the toe and grabs. Honestly, you can grab anything you can reach. If you want to grab the shin or the ankle or the calf, I'm going for that toe, baby. Not messing around here. Very good. Lovely, lovely deep breaths. Exhale, all you're trying to do is just relax a little bit. One more time, big breath in. And on the exhale, go and let go of that toe. You're going to push through that thigh to come all the way up. And let's go ahead and switch on over to the other side. Bending that right knee so that those knees are stacked. The left ankle comes on over. Very nice. Hand is going to come to the inside of the knee. Ankle has a hand on it as well to keep it stable. A lot of times the leg has a tendency to want to slip off. Big breath in and exhale, getting that outer hip. A little bit of a forward fold is going to translate to some weight being transitioned into the hand. We're never pushing, just resting the hand on the knee. Breathe. Beautiful. I just realized I never told you why I always put my hand on my ankle. It's to keep this nice and stable. Good. Now if you get to the point where you can slip that elbow to the inside of the knee, that's great. And if you're not quite there yet, that is okay. Please never compare yourself to your classmates or to me. Comparisons are the thief of joy. The only comparison really you should be making is you from yesterday. Not even you from 5 or 10 or 20 years ago. You from yesterday. Circumstances were close enough to being the same yesterday. Hopefully. Good, lovely, deep breath in. And exhale, oh, just relax, try to drop that knee down toward the floor. One more inhale. And on this exhale, you're gonna come up just a little bit. You're gonna take that left hand and whoop, lace it through, find the shin. Right hand comes underneath the heel and the ankle, meets the other hand, presses your palms into the shin, give you a little bit of a brace here as you continue into your glute stretch. Very slowly dropping. Oh, my poor booty. It's so tense. There's an odd thing to say. Beautiful breaths, big into your belly breaths. Release tension on each exhale. Good, let's do one more. Inhale deep. And exhale, relax, fall into a deeper range of motion or just try to release tension. Good, last one, big breath in. And on that exhale, come all the way up, very, very slowly, very gently. Oh, coming out of it, stacking your torso on your hips, then unhooking that figure four, straightening out that leg. heel to the ground, flexing the foot, hands on top of the supporting knee, bent knee right here. And then, of course, if you're ready, or whenever you're ready, take that elbow down, the thinking man, and then you reach to It's quite relaxing, this. Except I'm going to my thigh to bruise. Good. Big breaths, big breaths. Beautiful. Lovely. Deep breath in. Exhale, relax through the back of the thigh, back of the knee. Good. One more time. Big breath in. And exhale as you very gently, very slowly come all the way up. Bend both knees and give your shoulders a nice little roll. You're just forward folded, reaching forward quite a lot, and sort of correct that. Excellent. Now, if you can, you're going to take both hands and you're going to find the bottom of your chair and you're just going to kind of grab and hold on tight. As you do so, I want you to think about you're almost trying to pull your chair up against your butt. And your shoulders are going to drop away from your ears. So you're not doing this. You're pulling, grabbing the bottom of the chair, and then strain is trying to pull you up off of your seat. So we have a lot of sort of opposing tensions happening here. Drop the shoulders down, away. Hopefully you feel your neck elongate. You should honestly start to already feel a small stretch through the tops of your shoulders. You're going to inhale deep and take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Feeling stretch down the side of that neck. I find for me, the harder I kind of grab, the more I feel this stretch. Be thoughtful with how hard you grab. You don't want to suddenly grip very hard. You can gradually add a little pressure to your palms. Good, big breath in. And on the exhale, come back up. Release the pressure through the bottom of the chair just for a moment. Inhale deep. Exhale, grab the chair. Bring your left ear now over to your left shoulder. Feeling all of that lovely extension. This is fabulous, especially if you are at a computer a lot. I know that my desk is just a little too low. So it always results in me curving my spine forward and jutting my chin out. It's really not great for my posture. Big breath in. And on the exhale, release your grip from the bottom of the chair and bring your head back up to center. Take your gaze over your right shoulder and then over your left. And then just let your arms dangle at your sides. Do a little shoulder roll if you like. Very nice. Big breath in, bring your gaze forward. And exhale, you're going to take your left hand across to the outside of the right knee, going into a very gentle seated twist here. That right hand is going to find the chair back behind you. Inhale deep. Drop your shoulders and add just a little bit of pressure to the outside of that knee to go into your seated twist and taking your gaze over that shoulder. Lovely deep breaths. Good, deep breath in. And on the exhale, bring your chest forward. We're going to transition straight on over to the other side. So you're going to take that right hand to the chair back. Left hand across the body, press the palm to the outside of that left knee. Inhale deep. And exhale, take that gaze over that opposite shoulder. Very good. breath in. And exhale, very gently release the pressure from this hand. Bring your eyes forward, big old shoulder roll. And ladies, it is now time to come down to your mats. So, I'm going to shift a couple of things that you can see me just a little bit better. Here we go. Excellent. So, let's begin on our knees. Now, if you need extra cushioning for your knees, you can roll your mat up a couple of times or put a pillow or extra blankets underneath. Anything you need. We're going to begin with our hip flexor stretch. Now, I feel like it's been a little while since we've done this one, and it's so important. First thing we're going to do is squeeze our butts. I'm going to lift my hands up so you can see booty squeeze. What that's going to do is send my pubic bone forward and opening up these joints right here, the ones that connect your thighs to your pelvis. And go ahead and release it. And pinch your butt. Press your pelvis forward. Good. Why are we doing this? Well, because we actually do engage the glutes while we do our hip flexor stretch in order to get a complete stretch. So it's always a good idea to go over it. Go ahead and release your hips. One hand to the floor if you need to. You're going to bring one foot forward into a proposal pose. Both legs are at 90 degrees. Now, if you feel wobbly here, many people do, take a look down and see if you're on a tightrope. If you are, you're going to take that forward leg, you're going to move it out to the side so that you're more on railroad tracks than you are on a tightrope. I like to be somewhere in the middle. Both hips are pointing in the same direction, belly button too, as well as the chest. Make sure your torso is stacked right on top of the hips. Many times people lean forward, that takes all the stretch out of here. We're trying to get this stretched out. So belly button here. Strings attached to your pubic bone, and this butt cheek, this one back here, that's actually going to pinch. I'm going to unengage, and then I'm going to re-engage. You see that difference? Sending my hips forward. Good. And hands can be anywhere you like. They can be behind your back. Sometimes I like to press my hands to the top of my butt, kind of press it down. Sometimes I like them on my thigh. It's fine, whichever. As long as you're feeling the stretch right here. And again, we want to make sure that we're stacked in the torso so we're not hyperextending through the lower back either. Just moving the whole deal forward. Now this is level 1. For many people, this is going to be plenty. However, I'm going to show you level 2. So before we move into it, always want to make sure you come out of it really gently. That front foot is going to come way forward. Way forward. Now for some people, this one's a little bit rough on that back knee, so if you need that extra padding, now's a good time to get it. Or, for some people, this just isn't the best position to be in. But now we're approaching more of what I would characterize as a runner's lunge. So we have this front leg is extending and we are sinking our whole body forward and then down. I like to put my elbows on my front knee. I should start to feel a significant stretch through here. Ooh, all down the front. Feels so good. Sitting so much during pandemic. Ugh, the worst. Very nice. Level 3. You're going to take your hands down to the floor. What this does is just takes your torso a little bit forward and down, redistributes the weight. So you should still feel plenty of the stretch through the front of that hip. Gorgeous. I'm going to take a big old breath in here. And exhale, you're just going to try to relax and release all the tendons and muscles that run through the front of that thigh. One more time, big breath in. And exhale very gently. You're going to use your hands to send your hips back. Now this is true even if you were just up here. You can put your hand down, bring your hips back, come out of the stretch gently, and then switch to the other side. Good. Up nice and tall. Go ahead and bring that initial foot forward. Find your balanced position. So if you feel wobbly, bring that foot out to the side just a little bit more. Belly button is in, torso is stacked, and you squeeze that back glute. Squeeze it. It's not quite as easy to see from this side, that's okay. Oh, just love this first initial stretch every time. It feels so good running down the front of this hip right here. I do feel like ladies can't quite see me as well when this leg is forward, so I am going to go and face the other way, but rest assured, we're working on the same side. There we go, that's better. Good. So again, I'm booting, squeezing, sending my hips forward, torso forward. My chest stays right on top of my hips. That's level 1. You're welcome to stay here. Level 2, send your hips back gently first. Before you take that big step out, sink those hips forward and then down. Good. Elbows on top of that thigh. Undoing all of that weird tightness. Happens when you sit all the time. It pulls on your pelvis, makes your pelvis all wonky, and then that pulls on your lower back. Ugh. Tight hip flexors. Worst. This is one of my first recommendations for stretches when people have trouble with their lower back. Good. Level 3, you can bring your hands down if you're ready. So lower back pain can be caused by so many different things. If it's chronic, I always recommend seeing someone to try to figure out what it could be. But if it's muscular, many times stretching the area around your lower back, everything connected to your pelvis is going to make a big difference. And hip flexor is one of those. Good. Big breaths, big breaths. Beautiful. Let's do one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, no matter where you are, hands come down to the mat so that you can support your hips going back. Finally, come down to your hands and knees. And we're going to go into a quick round of cat and cow. We're going to inhale, arch that back, eyes forward, tailbone to the sky, and exhale, round that back like a scared Halloween cat, tucking that tailbone. Big breath in, and arch, and exhale, and round. Come to a neutral spine. I'm going to very gently lie on your back. So when we did our glute stretches in the chair, we didn't do our IT band stretch, so that's what we're going to do here. Start by pulling your knees into your chest. Just happy. Little lower back stretch here. Now you're going to go ahead and take your right leg. You're going to cross it over your left fairly tightly. So a lot of times, people start with a figure 4 with the ankle. This time we're going straight into the knee, hitting about halfway up the shin. So actually, let me do the other side because I think you can see that a little bit better. Yes, it's not quite so wide as this. It's going to be a little bit tighter. Now from here, you're going to take one hand around that shin and ankle and grab either behind the thigh or the shin itself. The other hand is going to meet it wherever it is. Oh, into that IT band. So here, I feel this running down the side of my thigh and quite a lot right at the connection point, right on the outside of the glute here. Now, many people will have to experiment with how wide or tight they cross their legs. So if you don't feel it right away, you can always try pulling it open like an inch. Ooh, that makes a little bit of a difference for me. And try crossing a little tighter. IT band can occasionally be tricky to get to. Good, deep breath in. And if you like, you can shift your weight over. For me, my right leg is the supporting leg. So I'm going to shift my weight over to my right hip. Oh, and all that does is just pull the whole business over to my right. So that stretch along the outside of my left leg gets even deeper. It's nice. It's very nice. Beautiful. Now you're going to take a deep breath in. And you're going to exhale and bring your weight back to center. One more deep breath. And exhale, you're going to let that right foot or the supporting foot, whichever, float to the floor. Go ahead and unhook that leg. And you're going to rock your hips from right to left. Just a little bitty bit at a time. Not too big a twist, please. I'm not really looking for the hips to go crazy here. And let's go ahead and do the other side. So you're going to go ahead and bring that left knee in just a little bit, but the right is going to cross over it. Not too tight, but not too wide. Go ahead and wrap those arms around, meeting either underneath the thigh or through the front of the shin. The front of the shin is going to be a tighter, more intense stretch. Oh. And a mess. See, this is what happens when I neglect my stretching. Oh man, that's good. Beautiful. Make little adjustments as needed. And then big breath in. And you're going to shift your weight over to that left hip. Or whichever leg is the supporting leg, that's the hip that you're going to shift to. Oh my God. Well, this IT band has been begging for it. Try to breathe. Beautiful. Deep breath in and exhale. One thing you can do to make this a little more intense is just hug the knee a little closer. So you're pretty activated through the arms, but especially if you clasp your hands, it shouldn't be that hard. Good. One more deep breath. And on this exhale, you're going to bring your hips back to center. Oh, let that foot go. And very gently unhook. And come to a comfortable lying position. That can be with your knees bent. I like to let my knees fall in against each other. Or with a full extension, if that's more comfy. Arms can be on your torso or at your sides. I, however, am going to sit up just because it's a little easier for me to talk to the camera. We're just going to spend this last moment taking this time for ourselves. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let go of the day behind you. Deep breath in. Exhale as you let go of the day ahead. Last breath, inhale. And on this exhale, take a moment to thank your body for everything it just did. Everything it's able to do. All the ways it protects you and enriches your life. With this last inhale, you're going to allow your eyes to drift open. And ladies, that is our class.